was a time when the Saints were brand new, when there was a real battle between the Saints games and the halftime shows designed by impresario Tom Walker.
He was spending $20,000 plus a show.
Wow.
A show. And maybe he didn't do that on every show, but most of them he did. He brought people or shows or headliners from all around the country. Used some local entertainers and programs also, supplemented them with our big college bands and high school units, dancing units, but always had something extra special.
These days, Barra Bircher handles the halftime shows for the Saints. Peter Finney still writes sports as a columnist for the Times-Picayune, and he played a part in a Walker show in a Surrey behind an ostrich.
All I remember, Ron, is that they were very fast, and they ran all over the field. Well, I remember, you know, Tommy Walker did the shows. He was the one who did the Olympics, the Olympic opening and closing ceremonies in 1984 when they went to Los Angeles. And he had a Hollywood background. He did a lot of good things, pre-game shows and halftime shows, and he did a lot of the Super Bowl shows also.
He was a guy that had a master plan. He knew where everything fit. He knew how to make it fit, and if something didn't quite work, he knew, and overnight he could get the new part in and get it done.
The Saints averaged less than 4 wins a season in their first 4 years. But with a big budget and a boundless imagination, Tom Walker kept the honeymoon spirit alive for Saints fans in the old Tulane Stadium.
And then another great show that he brought in that was innovative was the Rocket Man. The individual came over the north end of the stadium with smoke trailing up from behind him, no propellers, no nothing, no wings, anything, and just a little jetpack on his back. We had a hot air balloon race with 2 balloons. Unfortunately, one of them ended in the northwest, I think, corner of the stands, but it was an exciting start anyway.
There was a little more of a tragedy in the attempt to recreate the Battle of New Orleans.
He had hundreds of people in the field reenacting the battlement. He had the guns in the end zone, the music going, the fire, the cracking, the hot shouting on the field. It was just an exciting, exciting program.
The downside was some fingers were lost when one of the cannons fired prematurely, but it remains as one of the few downers in a time past, back when halftime was a happening for the Saints. For Ditka Magazine, I'm Ron Swoboda.